Are you a pitcher? How do you react when one of your teammates behind you makes an error that should have been the third out? Or when the ninth guy in the batting order rips a base-clearing double off of you with 2 outs? If you're like most pitchers, including myself, you probably want to take your glove off and throw it across the field in anger. In today's Bullpen Bulletin, we're going to cover the 3 things you need to do to conquer the mental game of pitching. Stay tuned. Hey team, Coach Hart here with Building Better Baseball, the best place for baseball education. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe so you can catch every single weekly Bullpen Bulletin. Now, let's dive into the mental game of pitching. Number 1, today's warm-up is just between you and the catcher. Pitching needs to be taken more seriously than any other position on the field. Yes, all positions need to be taken seriously, but no other position on the field has the chance to impact the game like a pitcher can. Fielding positions, they have the chance to go the entire game without a ball being hit to them, so they don't impact the game. But a pitcher, you are able to impact the game with every single pitch. When you're pitching, you need to get in the zone before you take the mound. You need to focus 100% on your job for that game, and you need to mentally prepare. As a pitcher, you should have an overall approach that you execute for any team that you face. Do you always start everybody off with an outside fastball? Do you always throw a changeup the second time through the lineup? What is your go-to strikeout pitch? Having this approach in your mind will significantly help you when game time comes. You need to discuss this approach with your catcher so you all are on the same page before you hit the mound for the game. During warm-ups, focus only on warming up and preparing for the game. Do not goof around with your teammates and get lost in conversation that takes away from your mental preparation. If you need to warm up away from the team and that's what helps you, then that's what you need to do. If you need to wear headphones to not distract you, that's what you need to do. Do what you need to do to prepare for the game. When I was pitching, I always warmed up with the catcher on the warning track, away from my teammates, because I knew if I warmed up around them, I would not have total focus on the game ahead. Warming up with just you and the catcher will help you get mentally and physically prepared to pitch and help your team win. Now that we've covered number 1, just you and the catcher warming up, let's jump into number 2. Number 2. Always make adjustments during the game. When you are pitching, there will be times when you are rolling through the game and pitching seems effortless and you're rolling through with minimal effort and a low pitch count. There are also going to be times where pitching seems so hard and you can't seem to find the strike zone. And even when you do, they hit the ball. On these days where it seems like nothing is working, there are 2 ways you can respond. There is a negative response where you're struggling and anger is building inside of you and causing you to shut down, which causes you to try and throw harder because you think throwing harder is going to solve the problem, but really throwing harder is just causing you to miss your spots and walk more batters, which is only causing more anger. This is the negative circle that you can fall into when you're pitching and struggling. Trust me, I have been there so many times. The better way to respond to struggle is to learn from what is not working and make adjustments. If you're struggling with location, it's most likely because your mechanics are a little off. After walking a few batters, take a step back and think about your mechanics and what you could fix to try to get back on track throwing strikes. If you're hitting your spots but they are really hitting the ball, think about throwing different pitches or different locations. Experiment. Pitching is all about a chess game with the batter. He is trying to time your pitch and you are trying to mess up that timing by throwing something that he is not expecting. When you're hitting your spots and they are hitting the ball, you're throwing pitches that the hitters are expecting. Learn from that and think deeper about surprising them with a pitch they won't expect. Throw a changeup when they expect a fastball, or throw a third strike high fastball when they are expecting a changeup. You need to learn from what pitches they are hitting and pivot off of those pitches to something else. If you do this and make your in-game adjustments when you're struggling, you will see much more success on the mound. Now that we've covered number 2, making in-game adjustments, let's move on to number 3. Number 3, Fielding errors are not a reflection of your pitching performance. This is one of the hardest things to deal with mentally as a pitcher. You are pitching a great game, you've given up a few hits here and there, it's late in the game and you have 2 outs, runners on second and third, and you get the batter to ground out easily to the shortstop. You start cheering in your mind and moving towards the dugout when you turn around and you see the shortstop completely overthrow the first baseman. The 2 runs score and the runner's on second. You are still pitching when the 3rd out should have already been made. You are not alone in this situation. This has happened to every single pitcher who has ever taken the mound since the beginning of baseball. Errors are part of the game, and you have to accept that. One thing you must understand is that fielding errors are not a reflection of your pitching performance. You have to try your best to leave that error behind and continue pitching great. You cannot allow that error to affect more than that one play. You have the power to control how you respond to that error. Look, I'm not saying don't get angry or upset because that's only natural. That would be impossible. I'm saying to realize how you feel in that moment and flip your response from anger to focus. You can either let it fill you with resentment and anger and have that carry into your pitching, where you start missing your spots and giving up hard hits and even more runs. Or you could immediately remind yourself that you're pitching a great game, and if you can get 1 ground ball, you can get another ground ball. You turn to your shortstop and you say, "Hey shortstop, ball's coming to you again. You got this, let's go." And you get up on the mound and you make that 3rd out. As you go through the game and pitch through the lineup, take note of where each hitter hits the ball. You can use this to help your defense. The defense does not always remember who hit them the ball, but you can help them out by turning around and saying, "Hey, second base, ball came to you last time." This is something that I did every single batter, and it really helped my defense get extra focused and prepare for the ball. If the defense is prepared for the ball, they will commit less errors while you're on the mound. I want you to think of something positive and motivational that you can tell a teammate who just made an error behind you. Leave it in the comments below. Remember, if you leave this comment, you can help out other players who are watching this video as well. If you enjoyed this Bullpen Bulletin, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss a video. Parents, don't forget linked below is your free guide for choosing new equipment. And coaches, don't forget to grab your free 2-hour practice plan linked below. Tune in next week where we will discuss the mental side of fielding. If you focus in the warm-up, if you make adjustments during the game, and you understand that errors are not a reflection of your pitching performance, then you will see your mentality on the mound significantly change, and you will have a lot more fun when you pitch. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope this video improved your pitching mentality, and you can use this the next time you're on the mound. I'll see you next time on the Bullpen Bulletin.